Guys, Banjo here. It's been a really weird day today. Feeling a little under the weather, kind of sick. It's one of those days where where even yawning sucks, where you're just too tired to yawn. But it's okay. We all have that. I actually skipped jujitsu today, which really sucks because I felt restless. But that's okay. It is what it is. I just wasn't feeling too well. Laid around, watched a lot of The Office. I never realized how good that show was. Is I said yeah, how good that show is. It's a really good show. The reactions they have, everything's great. But anyways, today's been kind of a sucky day in the sense that I was just feeling tired, bored. Woke up with my neck killing me, my arm killing me. Yesterday I did wrestling and jiu-jitsu, so there might have been a little too much force in the neck, so maybe that's why I'm feeling kind of downish right now. But anyways, as usual, I've been watching the news. Oh, my hand's doing a lot better, by the way. If anybody's wondering, still taping it up. It still kind of hurts. Nothing's broken. Just a really nasty contusion. So I got that going for me. Anyways, I've been reading the news. As you guys know, I've been reading the news lately, and I came across this article, and I'm not gonna lie, this one's a rough one. It's one of those few times where I want to punch through my screen or I just want to jump into the screen to help the person, but unfortunately I can't. Most news articles, if they upset me, I'll just say like okay, and then scroll on because there's not much I can do about the past. There's not much I can do about someone else's behavior. I can only moderate my own behavior. At least I try to. I try to be a better person every day. It doesn't always work out, but at least at least I try. Now, while we're gonna go over this article, I just want to say one more time: violence is not cool. Uh, I'm very happy that no one's really called me out on the whole. Hey, but you're doing jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, and you want to start competing soon. So what's up? Like, isn't that violence? Yeah, it's competition. But what I mean when I say I don't like violence is random acts where you just see somebody minding their own business and then someone attacks them or someone gets frustrated and instead of dealing with their anger in a healthy way, they just start swinging on people. But anyway, so on to what really matters. And you know what? This one's a really tough story, and I was having a pretty bad day today, up until this evening. So we'll get to this, and I'll tell you guys later on some amazing, something amazing that happened to me before I got home today. So, anyways, so here we have this horrifying video shows a group of teen girls attacking a 15-year-old with special needs after she asked him to help her find a train station in Chicago. My dyslexia kicked in. I think the worst part is this right here. That's special needs. I used to work in education. This was a while ago. I have since left it, moved on to something much better. I shouldn't say much better, because I miss it every day. But I moved on to something where I can feel like I'm doing a little more than what I used to do. And anyways, long story short, I had the great fortune of working with special ed students, and I know they can be rough to work with. I know they can. They can be just absolutely brutal to deal with. Sometimes they're emotionally disturbed. Sometimes it's just a very simple case of, a processing issue where they can't read and process what they are reading at the same time or whatever it is. I used to work with a teacher, and she used to say that the students who were the worst needed the most love, be it they were just difficult kids or they just had an issue learning. They were so I always approached working with kids that way. And anyway, so when I came across this article, I I read this about 2 3 days back, and when I just felt so broken after I read it. Like, whoa, like this is pure evil. And my advice to you guys is please, don't. I mean, I watched the video. I kind of regret watching it, but hey, it happened. If you don't if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But man, it was a terrible video to watch. One thing is watching a video of somebody fighting. Be it a UFC or Bellator or whatever, or someone who's at a gas station and then some knucklehead tries to jump them and they defend themselves. That's one thing. Another thing is a video of just some innocent kid who doesn't know what's going on and then they get attacked. So let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. Friend of Janice, right here. So, Apparently, this person was just walking around. This young lady was just walking around, asked for directions, and then she gets attacked. Let's actually look at the article and see what's really going on here. So let's see. Oh man, is there a way to pause the video? Pause. No need. Okay. Anyways, so a shocking video shared on social media on Monday shows several girls in Chicago brutally beating on a 15-year-old girl who has special needs. Again, this is what hurts me the most because I was fortunate enough to work with students who had special needs. I really was, and even my worst case scenarios, the ones who in their IEPs, basically in very few words, they had violent tendencies. Even those kids needed the most, the most love, the most help. Uh, so just seeing that part, you kind of realize how unfair the world sometimes is and how cruel people can be. And I read a comment. What really bothered me was, "Oh, these are just kids." And my thing is, true, they're just kids, but I've worked with other just kids who don't do this. So what happened here? Where did the family go wrong? Because again, in my opinion, I shouldn't have to tell my neighbor's kids, "Hey, don't beat up on a special ed 15-year-old kid, or don't beat up on someone who's just asking for directions." Where's the family? Where's the conscience? What happened? You could say where's the society, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to where's mom and dad, or where's the caretakers. But anyways, let's keep going. A friend of Janice, I believe Harris, shared on Twitter that the teen was attacked after she asked the group for assistance to help her get to the closest red line train station. Uh, I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's a train station, obviously. I sound like a moron now. Uh, you know what, real quick, just side note. I hate the fact that they have this right here. Especially some absurd BS like this. Like, okay, whatever. I decided to go on Google News real quick. Clicked on it. Apparently, they have a thing for Trump right now, and I read some articles claiming that Google is very biased against certain things. But my point is that there's other news you can write about. There's other news you can talk about, but I guess it's not as cool as Kourtney Kardashian or Lisa Marie Presley or Jennifer Aniston. But hey, whatever it is, it's their news thing. They can do whatever they want. But anyways, back to this more important matter at hand. The friend claims that Harris has a mental disability that developed after the death of her mother. Okay, see, that's interesting. Because that could mean many different things. But either way, at 15 years old, losing a parent, the trauma that this person could be going through, it's unimaginable. I'm 28 years old. I still have both parents. Uh, and I'll be honest with you. I have both parents. I have a full-time job. Uh, I basically lived the life I wanted to when I was 15 years old. I'm not ashamed to admit that I kind of like the fact that I wake up every morning, get on my BMX bike. Now that I'm uh, turning 30, no, I'm turning 29. Yeah, now I'm turning 29, and decided to learn how to BMX the proper way, like all those guys on the X Games. I go to jiu-jitsu, I do all these things, I have a full-time job. But even with this quality of life that I have, if I were to lose a parent, I don't know what it would be like. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be a 15-year-old kid to lose a parent. So, again, this is just like a terrible storm of tragedy and evilness just coming together. So let's keep going before I just start rambling. Oh man, those pictures, if they don't break your heart, Jesus. I've seen this in school settings, unfortunately, where somebody is being assaulted because they did something that they didn't know was wrong. But the biggest difference here is that in the schools I worked in, teachers would immediately run to separate this. Yeah, I have a lot of criticism about school administrators and parents, but for the most part, most teachers, without a second thought, would jump in to defend. In this case, if you watch the video, it's just her being abused by these young ladies, and I think it was two boys or one boy who also went in there to slap her or hit her. You can watch the video again. It's up to you guys. I did watch it. I'll admit it. Kind of regret watching it, but there it is. Anyways, let's keep going. Footage shows the group attack the girl, who screamed as she is punched in the face. That is painful. A lot of people tell me, "Yo, Banjo, yeah, what's up? You really think there's evil in this world?" And I say, "Yeah, there is." And they kind of look at me all depressed, like, "Really?" And I always say, "But hey, look, there's no reason. That doesn't mean that there's no good. There's evil, yeah, hooray, there's evil. What can you do about it? There's just some nasty people out there. But there's also a lot of good people here. Unfortunately, the Twitter thread, I was going to show it to you guys. It just magically disappeared when my browser refreshed. But a young lady was really going out of her way to help this person, and I can't share that person's name. And I don't think I would either, because it would have violated her privacy, even though she's doing a good thing. And my good intentions could have caused this person who was doing a good thing, harm. But anyways, this person was actually showing the victim of this support, supposedly according to this in a Twitter thread, and really helping her out. But anyways, let's keep going. Harris tries to defend herself, but is bombarded by punches. The teen can be heard shouting about how Harris was allegedly going to call the cops on them, throwing her to the ground as they continue their onslaught. Okay, here's the thing. I don't care how old these kids are at this point. I really do think they deserve to face some sort of justice. Not vigilante justice. Not vigilante justice. You are not the Punisher. If this was real life, the Punisher would be in prison for the rest of his natural life. Not vigilante justice, not Twitter justice, because Twitter justice really means nothing. It's just a bunch of noise, and uh, I used to have a Twitter account. Well, it wasn't actually mine, but I had access to it, and we'd make fun of our friends on it, and not behind their backs. Like, we would tag the person we were making fun of, and then they would do the same thing to us. Long story short, one of us had the bright idea to file a complaint against us, and then we started complaining against each other. So most of us lost the Twitter account. It was really funny. One of them recently tried to open it back up again, and I don't know what happened. We never followed up on it. But anyways, we were making fun of each other. The point is, while we were doing this, making fun of each other, other people would jump in and we'd just be like, "Who are these idiots? Like, don't they know we're messing around?" So Twitter justice to me seems kind of pointless. If you go out there and you try to take the law into your own hands, you're most likely going to commit a crime yourself. So the the only real thing I believe should happen here is for law enforcement to get involved, for better for worse. They could sit down, look at the videos, come through the evidence, and figure out what's the best way to approach this issue. And that could be a whole different debate. But anyways, the horrifying clip has been viewed more than 4.5 million times. See, that's the problem. On the one hand, it's good because it is evidence. It is evidence. I don't know this person, the victim of the attack. I don't know her. I don't, and I wish that this had never happened to her, and I wish her the best in the future. I don't know her, and it's in a sense, it's kind of, as somebody who's been beat up by bullies, it's kind of humiliating, in my opinion. Even though, luckily, I'm old enough to have used a cell phone by the time I was in high school. We didn't have cell phones in middle school or anything like that. So there was no concern about getting recorded or anything. But anyways, at least she has some sort of evidence and proof of what happened, if law enforcement does get involved. At the same time, these people who committed the assault, and I don't know why these pictures are so blurry. The video's kind of clear, actually. Here, we'll just watch a little bit of it. No, we're not gonna watch it. These people, for the rest of their lives, if something does happen, if somebody knows them and they try to apply for a job, this is most likely gonna come back and bite them in the behind. So, these kids are kind of dumb because back in my days, back when I was younger in the 90s growing up, we'd always talk about no snitching, you never snitch. And all these kids are doing is snitching on themselves, and I say good. Good. If you're going to be a criminal, good. Snitch on yourself. The worst thing we did as kids growing up was take our bikes onto an empty lot that the city had Well, not even that. There used to be gate. There was there. No, there was never gates. There was just an empty lot that nobody used, and we would just ride our bikes around it. Uh, that was the worst we did. And it doesn't mean that other people didn't do worse things. I'm pretty sure that a lot of horrible things happened when I was growing up. But at least we never did that, so I could take comfort in that. Anyways, man, that's just painful. That's not good. So here we go. It was also seen by Officer Anthony. I am so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Guglielmi, the chief communications officer for the Chicago Police Department, who said the Special Victims Unit was investigating the video. Okay, so law enforcement's involved in this. This is beyond disturbing to watch, and this young girl deserves far better. That is true. That is true. She deserves far better than what they've given her, and it's just so much better. This is gonna sound kind of funny, but the way I see it is, I'm just walking down the street. Hey, do you know where such and such street's at? And then, I get beat up by 10 people. Like, what was that for? Now look at it from this perspective. You're a 15-year-old kid. You have a mental illness. I think that's the word they use. They didn't. I'm very sorry. Let's go back and check the right. Mental disability. You have a mental disability. You're 15. You're probably distracted in thought because most teenagers are kind of dumb. I'm not trying to be mean or funny. That's just unfortunately the truth. I was one for a couple of years, and I was a moron thinking about it. I was the dumbest teenager ever. I thought I was so smart, but I was so dumb. So you're 15. Unfortunately, your parent, somebody who you obviously cared about, has passed on. Now you have a mental disability. You just want to get to where you're going, be it home or somewhere else, and you ask someone, "Hey, how do I get to the red line?" And the first thing they say is, "We're just gonna beat you up," and they start hitting you. This person deserved better. I didn't like some of the comments they made about the perpetrators of the crime because a lot of it was racially motivated comments. Okay, I don't agree with that. I also don't agree with what they did. I think what they did was completely evil, cruel, and wrong. And they deserve the full weight of just the law to come down on them for what they did. But this young lady who was beaten deserves so much better than that. And I think it poorly reflects not just the community, but the culture that we seem to be embracing wholeheartedly. We're just like, nah, let's just not care about anything. But I'll get onto that stuff some other time. Let's see. This is beyond disturbing to watch. This young girl deserves far better. He said in this tweet. Let's check out the tweet. Let's see how many more stupid ads we can get on this tweet. Oh, cool. No ads. He looks like the guy from The Shield. I'm not trying to be funny. And updates. Oh, cool updates. Detectives from the area central victim unit have arrested 3 juvenile girls. 13. Jesus. Wow. That's young, man. That is young. Oh, this is really good. That is young. Back to what I was saying. When we were 13, 14, 15, I grew up with some boys who, around this age, they were already drug addicts. They were already drug addicts. I'm, again, not trying to top, like, the tragedy. But they weren't violent. So my question then becomes, okay, what exactly went wrong here? What drives this? So let's see if we can find why they did this. Besides the simple fact, let's just be violent. Friends and concerned folks were curious of Harris's whereabouts following the attack. A brief video appeared to show the teen on a blue line, and it was shared that she was safe with family. Okay, that's good. Several users also shared posts said to be of the girls who took part in the beating. They shared that they have been receiving threats from the video going viral and apologized for attacking Harris. See, that's a little too late. One, I want to be clear. This, no, okay? If you have information about any crime, please go to the police department, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is accuse somebody of something they didn't do, alright? Let law enforcement deal with that. But this is a little too late. Because if these people were more than okay with assaulting some, just beating up on somebody who was looking for directions, hitting them over and over again without mercy. And again, if you watch the video, that's what you're going to see. I'm not making this up. Then a part of me doesn't see this as a genuinely sorry. A part of me sees this as them just being scared of consequences of what's going to happen. But man, this is just terrible, terrible news. Various users rushed to identify the group and shared the information on social media. Again, what good is this? If you have any information for any crime, please, please, not trying to be funny, give it to your local police department, because they're gonna know what to do with it. So just to summarize, people are evil, people are good, bad things happen to good people, good things happen to bad people. In this case, the good thing that happened to bad people was that they were arrested. But man, it's just unfortunate that it got this far. I don't know. I hope these girls never do this again. I hope they realize that what they did can never be undone. And they understand that, there's nothing I can say about that. If by the time you're 14, 15, and again, maybe I'm misguided in saying this, so please, if you guys have any information on child psychology or just human behavior, I'm always happy to hear it out. But in my opinion, by the time you're 14, 15, 13, 14, 15, and you say, you know what? If this person asks me for my directions, I'm just going to beat them up, record it, and put it online so everybody can see what I did. That, I don't know, man. What's worse than a lost sheep? Whatever that is, that's what they're at right now. And I really hope this young lady who's the victim of this crime, she apparently she seemed happy from one of the reports that was saying she was with family. Oh, well, we're not gonna play it anyway. So I'm happy to report that Janice survived this. My God, a press conference. So she survived. She seemed happy, and that's it. We're just gonna move on from there. And man, it's such a shame that this happened. The video's there. Here's the name of the article. Matthew Wright. This was published July 24th. And it was updated around the same day. Also, I want to point out that I still think this is really, really dumb. I get that they need to sell ad to keep the newspaper running, but there's a lot more important news. Okay, so on to a little happier story before I let you guys go. Oh, and real quick, if you guys are going to comment on this, wait a second to cool off before you comment. Okay? Wait a second to cool off. And maybe I might make a video on this, but some of the comments I read, and believe it or not, they weren't from white people, they were from Hispanic people. But anyways, I'll go into detail a little later about how I found this out. I'll just tell you guys, I literally asked them out, like, hey homie, where you from? And they'd be like, oh, I'm from here, and talking to people on the internet. This is never good. But anyways, take a moment to cool off, because you might say something that you don't mean, or you might say something, you might try to share an idea but go about it the wrong way. So instead of saying, hey, I don't agree with the child rearing these kids had, which led them to think this is acceptable, instead of saying that, you'll say something very questionable. Just take a moment and breathe before you comment on these things. I know articles like this, like I said, I wanted to punch through the computer screen, because man, this and the way she was screaming, I just wanted to jump right into it and like, I got your back, kid, I got you. And I couldn't do that. Unfortunately, I could not do that. But again, if you're gonna comment, just take a moment and breathe. It's okay to breathe. It's okay. Take a moment, sit back, and then do your thing. Say what you're gonna say. But anyway, so here's the website. Here's the title. Here's the author of the article. Okay, so anyways, on to some happy news. So like I was saying, I woke up this morning. My neck was killing me, but I've been having some neck issues for a while. Hand was in pain. I tried a game, but it feels like I have arthritis. I probably do. It's one of those crappy days where you just don't really want to get up, don't really want to do much, but you have to get up anyways. because you have to get up, you have to do stuff, you have to keep your. I try to maintain my discipline. I woke up, I had my oatmeal, my 3 to 4 eggs, water. I drank a gallon of water because I realized that lately I haven't been drinking enough water. Uh, Lunch, I think I had eggs, eggs and sausages. I had breakfast for lunch, brunch, dinner. What did I have for dinner? Shrimp cocktail. My mom made it. I felt super classy. I was eating over the sink like a rat. I've been watching The Office. But anyway, so family goes off. They're doing their thing. I was feeling like crap. Just a crappy day. I don't think I'm sick. I just think I don't know. I think my body was just finally felt a little beat up. But I'll admit to the fact that I've had a couple of injuries during jiu-jitsu that I didn't really take care of as fully as I should have. So today was my off day. Tomorrow I'm gonna roll light. I promise. Everyone says they're gonna roll light, but then no, they end up hurting themselves. But anyways, so I go to the Baskin Robbins. I get in my car. I drive. Go to the Baskin Robbins, and as I'm walking across the parking lot, these they couldn't have been older than 6 or 7. They keep looking back at me, and I'm just like, what is going on? They just keep looking back at me, and then one of them kind of half waves at me, and I feel bad not waving back at people who wave at me, so I just half wave back at the kid too. And then as I go inside, there was like all these families, so it was like just a bunch of families and kids. Every kid in there recognized me. Every single one of them, like, yo, Mr. Banjo, what's up? And I'm like, hey guys, I wish I could remember their names, but I didn't. I could not remember their names, but they all recognized me. I used to work in education, and that was really nice because I felt super famous and popular for a second. I was like, whoa, this is cool. And the best part is that they actually like me. A lot of people, when they go into teaching or working with kids, their first few years, they're just, and I don't blame them because working with kids is hard, and especially in lower income areas where I'm at. And then if you're a male, believe it or not, some schools desperately they try to do whatever they can to keep you because a lot of teachers, everyone recognizes the absence of good male role models in school, and so a lot of teachers when they start, they kind of do the whole screaming and shouting, and because they just lose it, and I don't blame them. And I'll admit it, I did quite a bit of that. No, that's not true. I did some, but not to the extent of others. And as I kept working with kids, it just it improved to the point where I knew how to talk to them. Believe it or not well, but well enough where at least the classroom was quiet, if that means anything. But anyways, so it was really nice walking in there and just seeing all these kids recognize me. Some of the older kids who I had a while back, they gave me that head nod. They're like, what's up? Like, what's up, homie? What's up, SA? Did the same thing too. Just you rock your chin up. What's up? So that was cool. The little kids, they just waved at me. Uh, I was wearing I call them my jujitsu shorts, or just basketball shorts that I use, and and a kid hugged my leg, and that felt so weird because I was like, ugh, your skin touched me. That's gross. Uh, you know. So that was kind of cool. I did a little bit of research on some of these YouTube video maker people, creators. And I feel bad for some of them because a lot of them, that's their job. So if they feel like crap, they have to produce. I mean, if they feel like crap, no matter what, they have to produce. I'm fortunate enough that I was able to have somewhat of a career. Um, this isn't this isn't my job. This is something that I do just to entertain myself, to try to process the world and what's going on. And feeling sick, I realize how fortunate I am to have been able to put myself in this position because getting here was really difficult for me. But anyways, I just want to share that article with you guys. It was really tough, but at the same time, I wanted to share with you guys a good part of my day because we get tunnel vision on the bad. We do. I get tunnel vision on the bad. That's it. And if that's all you focus on, that's all you'll ever see. But if you take a moment to just say, okay, stop, breathe, take a step back. Okay, this is terrible, but what else is there in the world? You're gonna find a lot of good too. And anyways, I wish the best for this girl. I wish for the perpetrators of this crime to get justice, whatever that's going to mean. This news article, unfortunately, seeing as how the news is these days, it's probably gonna vanish into the background and some. And don't get me wrong, nothing against celebrities, but some reporters gonna think this is gonna be more important than why this happened. I guarantee you that. And again, nothing wrong with celebrities. If you're a celebrity, I'm so happy for. I really am. I'm happy that you get to live the life of a celebrity, whatever that means. I don't know what that means, but I'm happy you get to have that. So I don't blame you for being here. I blame the reporters for thinking this is more important than this. But hey, anyways, this is Banjo signing off. I want to thank everybody who's listening. I really appreciate that. I'm streaming on two websites. Not streaming, posting, publishing on two websites, Cocoscope and YouTube. So hey, I hope you guys have a great day. Anyways, I'll catch y'all next time.